Again, welcome to 30 Times of Career series, July edition, happening in August. I think I already explained why that had to again, so my sincere apologies. My name is Mrs. Sunshine, as you already know, and I am a career coach. One of my passion is helping people excel in their career path. I know that it can be a tussle. I don't think I would want people to go through the same thing I went through, finally finding what I really wanted to do in life. So that is one of my passion, right? To just coach people, proper mentorship, to coach people what they really want to do, to coach them along their career paths, what they want to become, the confusion, enlightening them, and all. So we're going to be delving right into confidence versus arrogance. Trust me, it's going to be a swelling time all under 30 minutes. My sincere apologies again for starting the live session a bit late. I think I started 7:35 instead of 7:30. How many of you are having issues with your MTN? I mean, I really don't know. Perhaps it's because of the protest going on, which brings me to say that everyone should stay safe right there, right? I know that it's a hard time for us as a nation right now, but you're protesting, be it physically or on Twitter like me. Please stay safe and keep praying that we have a better Lagos and then a better Nigeria ultimately. So today's session, I literally had to prepare a script because I really want to get to time. If you have questions whatsoever, please feel free to ask. It's a live session, but trust me, it is okay to ask questions, especially pertaining what we're going to be talking about today, which is confidence versus arrogance. So if you have any question whatsoever, feel free to ask, and then your question will definitely be answered. However, if you ask question towards the end of the webinar or this live session, your question perhaps might be answered the next live session. That's if I see it. So if you have any questions pertaining to this, you can keep your questions ready. We're going to bring it down, and I promise I'll do all my possible best to answer your questions. So yes, confidence versus arrogance. So what inspired this? I figured that most of the time, let's start with even today, which was part of the reasons that inspired this. Anyways, most people really know a lot here, but they have issues bringing it out from here, if you know what I mean. So people have a lot of things upstairs, like people really know a lot of things, but they just experience difficulties bringing their creatives, bringing their ideas, bringing their thoughts, bringing even their mere words into play, into life. And that's because most of them are timid, most of them are shy, most of them are perhaps like, what will people think? Most of them are even like, I'm so scared. Like, I literally know from interviewing people. Now, I interviewed a guy earlier today. It has really been a busy Saturday for me. I interviewed a guy earlier today. Now, this guy's CV is loaded. This guy had a lot of things. I was really impressed, and I was really willing to hear him out. So before we delve into or get right into the live session for today, I want you to know that your CV is good, your CV is bad. Be confident in whatever it is. How many of us have been in a scenario? I think I've been in that space when I was in secondary school. Have you been in this space? This is quite funny. Have you been in this space before when you're in secondary school and then your teacher asks a question? I remember. Don't blame me. I didn't know about it then, but I'm going to say it anyway. Trust me. I really don't mind. So I was in secondary school at the moment, and a particular teacher that was really fond of me asked what immigration was. I think it was social studies class. I can't remember exactly, but I think it was social studies class. And then everybody went silent. Some other people were like, hi. But you know, the teacher, normally teachers don't really pick people that are saying hi, you know, I can answer it and all of that. I didn't know it. Trust me, I'm not joking. I think this is my confession time. I didn't know what immigration was at the moment, but I saw people that that in a way I feel, I might be wrong, but I feel like I should know this. If this person is raising up, then I should know this. I saw them raising up their hands, and you know what? I just raised up my hands too. And the teacher said something. The teacher then said, I'm not going to pick you, Sunshine. I'm not going to pick you. And I was like, what? Maybe this could be my pass. But no, this is we're getting right into confidence. Trust me, this is part of it. At times when you feel when you think you really don't know something. What am I saying now? Okay, Sunshine. At times, trust me, you might not know the best. You might not have the best solution or the best answer. But even in your mistakes, it might sound wrong to say, but you just have to be confident. People need to break out from that timidity, if there is a word like that. You need to break out from that being cool. No, I don't want to talk. I don't want to do this. Trust me, I escaped from not answering the question, and I got to know where immigration is at the moment, and I was like, wow. And no, when I saw that worked, there are other times. I think there was a particular time also that was in maths. It was Pythagoras theorem. So the teacher put the question up on the board, and then the teacher was like, who can solve this? I had the idea, but I didn't know the answer. Funny, I already solved it, and I was skeptical that I might be wrong, but I was the best in math at the moment, so I didn't want a situation where the teacher was going to call me and then I was going to mess up in front of the whole class. So you know what I did? I just said, let me try it, and the teacher said, no, Sunshine is not going to try it. I figured, okay, I think this is my pass. It might be a wrong exit, but we are going somewhere. I hope that lightened someone's mood. Anyway, so confidence is something that really works well. Confidence, I'm not going to start with what confidence is not. I'm just going to be starting with what confidence is. So confidence is basically a trait that involves positively expressing your abilities, your ideas, your creatives. So confidence is you, simply put, you being able to say something in front of anybody. Now, trust me, public speaking, it might be a bit dicey. I'm not trying to say confidence is public speaking, but if you keep building your confidence little by little, trust me, you're going to be good at public speaking, and that is just how it works. I know people in their workspace that they don't even know how to communicate with their boss. They are all J-trained. I mean, they're human. I'm not of the opinion that you should be rude to your boss or your superior or your line manager or even your colleague in quotes, but you should be able to speak to them. I know so many people are in the shoes where you have a particular idea. I've been in that shoes before. I had a particular idea, and then I feel I was always, I don't know if I was lacking confidence at the moment, but I had this idea that you can't just walk up to your boss. Well, it depends on the organization. There are different structures for different organization, right? But I just felt, okay, I had this idea that could help the company. I didn't want to go directly to my boss, and then I went through my line manager. At the end of the day, the idea was approved. It's something that we needed to do in the particular organization at the time, and nobody mentioned my name at all. I felt bad. I felt so bad, and everyone was praising my line manager. And then I felt she even had the audacity to be talking to me about it. That your idea really made sense, but you did not even give me the accolade. You didn't even say, "Oh, well done, thank you for bringing it up," or even tell the MD at the moment that, oh, it wasn't my idea, it was this person's idea, it was Sunshine's idea. It just went silent like that, and nobody spoke about it again. I really felt bad. So this trust me, for that to happen to me over time, I was like, no way. Now, even when I have an idea, I still go through my line manager. Okay, well, I don't have one. Okay. I mean, you don't have to do that, but let's assume I have I have a particular idea now. I still have to go through my line manager, but now I know how to do it better. If people are talking about it, like if we are supposed to pitch that particular idea, I'm going to definitely. Okay, someone is requesting to be in my video. I'm sorry. I want to believe that's a mistake. Alright, so I'm going to definitely put my input, but I mean, in a way, I'm definitely going to walk up to the MD and say, that was my idea. I did that. Nobody is going to steal my shine again. And for you joining this live, no matter when you're seeing this video, nobody should actually steal your shine. Nobody should ever steal your shine. So let's just get driving. Let's get right into it. So like I said, confidence is a trait that involves you positively expressing your ability. So I know that so many people have that's one of the things I want to talk about. So many people have a lot of things there, but they cannot project it. They don't know how to say it. They are shy, they are timid, and it doesn't always work like that. But the funny thing is, it's not actually everyone that has something to say. So we are going to be talking about first how to know that you are not a confident person. I'm going to just mention 3 to the best of my knowledge, of my capability at the moment. So if you have any other one, you could do well to share with us using the comment section. So one of the ways you know you are not confident is I know it within, but I can't let it out. If you keep knowing something but you can't let it out, that is one major trait that you're not a confident person, and you need to change about it. It's good that you know. I mean, it's not it's not everyone that knows, but if you know something, you should be able to let it out. You should be able to discuss with someone that, oh, this is my idea, or you should be able to discuss with someone that, oh, I have this particular idea, or you should be able to speak to someone that, oh, okay, can we do it like this? I've been in spaces where, we're having like a board meeting, and then you're asking someone, what do you think? The person can't even communicate. I don't blame you. At times your environment contributes to lack of confidence. So I'm not blaming anyone here on this life for not having enough confidence, but you need to start building it. You need to be able to, the minimum you should be able to do is to communicate. You need to be able to communicate. Now, everyone can communicate like Vusi Tembakwayo. Everyone can communicate like Ebukun Awoshika. Everyone can communicate, like all the high people out there. Everyone can communicate like me. I'm even looking up to certain people that I want to be able to, build my confidence and then communicate with in a particular space. So you have your own uniqueness, but you need to be able to communicate and properly. So back to what I was saying earlier. I was interviewing a guy. His CV was so rich, but it was fidgeting. It could not even answer properly where he was working at the moment. I needed to pause a while, and then I needed to ask him, and then I was like, oh, okay, Mr. This, can you relax a bit? Can you breathe in? Can you breathe out? Okay. Can we speak like informally? Like, just speak to me. I just really want to know what you've been doing in this role. That is it. Because I noticed, because it was a video interview, and I noticed that the guy was not even confident enough. And then one of the reasons I feel he wasn't confident enough was because he didn't have enough experience. But that is not enough reason. Most organizations, most companies, they're not really looking for the number of experience you have. They're just looking for your ability. As a matter of fact, there are certain companies that are willing to lay off people with the high number of experience and are willing to employ people that are smart and intelligent, people that can literally walk up to them and say, no sir, this is wrong, or no sir, I think we can do this better, or no sir, no, I think this idea is not proper. That is just it. So if you don't try something once, you would not know if it's something you want to keep doing or not. So you need to be able, you need to not just know it up here, you need to be able to project it. That is one. Another way which you know that you are not a confident person is having limited knowledge. It's okay not to know, but what is your response to not knowing? Now, when I mean limited knowledge, I mean, okay, let me use a scenario. Let me use immigration, for example. I think I was given an example when I didn't know what immigration is when I was in secondary school at the time. Trust me, at that stage, I was supposed to already know what immigration is. I really don't know why I didn't know. Trust me, I didn't know. I was not even lying. I think I was in SS2. SS2, I was supposed to know what immigration is, but I literally didn't know. But I was still the best student in maths at the time, but I didn't know, and it was somehow that I didn't know, and I didn't want people to know that I didn't know. So I needed to go for my last research. But after the old class, I needed to go and study. I needed to read about what immigration is. From there, I know what immigration is. I had to read about it, so I had to know everything that it consists of, or whatever it entails at the moment. So you need to be able to go for knowledge. Trust me. Someone I really admire, I really look up to in his space, is Vusi Tembakwaya, and then I noticed that Vusi is very confident when he speaks. So when Vusi speaks, everyone is like quiet. I mean, when I go for meetings where Vusi is a speaker, when he speaks, everyone is like expecting what Vusi wants to say. That is someone that commands attention. So at times his voice alone, it's not, don't get it twisted. Now don't let me use Vusi for example, right? Let me use a random person. It's not all motivational speaker that actually speaks sense. Can I get a witness? It's not all motivational speaker that actually speaks sense. Most of the time it's just their rhymes and the way they are able to grab your attention. That is just it. So grabbing attention, that's another thing. That is the art of speaking. That is even another thing entirely, grabbing people's attention. But you cannot do that properly without building your confidence. You need to be able to build your confidence to grab people's attention. So another reason, like I said earlier, wow, the time is running, but I'm not going to run with it. You need to, if you have limited knowledge, you need to go for knowledge. You need to be able to read. You need to be able to study. You need to be able to go for knowledge. Get to know what is happening. I'm not saying follow trends, but you need to know what you're doing. You need to read. You need to socialize yourself with people of like minds. At some point in my life, because I don't know, my siblings say I'm an extrovert, but I want to believe I'm an introvert. But at some point in my life, I figured that I was always indoors, right? I was always to myself too much. And I read, but I'm not a fan of reading. Believe it or not, I'm not really a fan of reading. I think my reading partner in school is on this live, so he will testify to it. I'm not a fan of reading at all. I really don't like reading. At times, I just have to read because I have to. I have to read because I have to. There's something, maybe you're preparing for an exam, or you're preparing for something, or you're studying. I study, but I'm not a fan of reading. I don't know if you grab that. So it means if I'm reading and I'm not enjoying it, I just stop. Trust me. I go for something that attracts me, that I really want to know. I don't do random reading. It doesn't work for everyone, but that is what works for me. I rather listen than to read. So yeah. The third thing is keeping quiet and letting others take or say the idea that you said to them. I think that goes hand in hand with the first point. When you keep quiet like me, then when my line manager had to project my idea, and she didn't even say anything about me, and I kept getting, what's the word now? What's the word now? What's the word now? What's that word when you're not working hard? I can't remember it now for the lack of words, but I kept getting like you're not doing well, something like that. When you're being marked in primary school, secondary school, you get satisfactory, you get good, and then you get average. So I kept getting average, and I was like, what's going on? But I'm bringing these ideas. So many line managers are there. They are there to steal your shine. Please do not allow anybody in any way steal your shine. So we're going to be talking about I'm going to be talking about 4 things because of my time. 4 ways at which you can boost your confidence. Then we're going to be talking about what confidence is not, which will lead us to arrogance, of course. First, be open to developmental trainings. Okay, yeah, I was saying that there are times when I felt like I was already all to myself. I needed to start going for the developmental trainings. Weekends, I know that, okay, this training will help me. This particular training is something I really love. But it can be on Zoom. I really don't like going out, right? It can be on Zoom. It can be on Google Meet. It can be physical. For it to be physical, then I've done a lot of process to finally attend the meeting. Like the platform, I think, very good. Yes, I said I was going to share this story. I think this is just the perfect opportunity to share it. Okay, so the last platform that was, I attended the platform, and we're talking about managers and all of that. And I asked a particular question, which was, I'm not going to say what the question is, but trust me, if you go on YouTube, you still see the question with me standing up and asking that same question. So when I asked the question, the panelists didn't really, I don't know, they didn't really want to answer the question at the time, right? It felt maybe you should know the answer to this, but I felt I didn't know the answer to this particular question, and that is why I'm asking this question. I'm asking this question because you have told me all I need to learn as a career personnel, but I'm still finding it difficult, or I'm still struggling on this other part of my career life, and I needed to really ask the question. Trust me, I wouldn't just stand up. So myself standing up was one thing for me, asking the question was another thing for me. For me to stand up, it took me a lot of confidence to stand up. I mean, one thing I think about over time when I want to ask questions, because I ask questions a lot, which is one other reason that really boosts your confidence. I'm going to talk about it later. I think about the fact that people that are asking this question, come on, sunshine, they don't even have 2x. But I mean, I was waiting for someone to ask my question, and it feels like nobody was ever going to stand up to ask my question, and I needed to ask it. So I stood up and I asked the question, but I would want to say that the response I got was quite harsh. And you know the kind of response you get when like high people are answering your questions, and then it feels like you should just enter the ground. I stood up, I took it with my full chest, and I was like, I asked the question, I asked for it. I asked because I needed a solution. So if the answers are not pleasing to me, it doesn't matter. What matters is I asked the question, and I really am looking for a solution to it. Did I get the solution? Yes. Maybe not 100%. Anyways, but after the meeting, I became popular because people were asking me, oh, you were the one that asked the question. I was like, oh yeah, wow, how did you feel? Were you not embarrassed? I was like, no. After the whole meeting, even when I got, or maybe people that streamed online were like, sunshine, I saw you asked that question. I was like, yeah, I needed to. Were you not scared? Were you not angry? I wasn't angry about the response. I wasn't scared. I wasn't embarrassed. As a matter of fact, I'm like, that's what life is. So I'm just saying that, I'm just chipping it in that you being confident doesn't really go the positive direction every time. You being confident, maybe walking up to a superior in your workplace, it doesn't always end in a positive direction, or it doesn't always end good every time. At times you can be scolded for it. At times your ideas might not be bought. At times you might be like, what are you even saying? Imagine standing up in a boardroom, not standing up particularly, but imagine giving a particular idea or pitching in a boardroom, and then someone says, what are you even saying? Go and sit down. You pitching your idea to start with is a little bit of confidence. Now, if it's rejected, you've been rejected along the line, it doesn't mean that you're supposed not to be confident for other scenarios. I'm just saying that confidence necessarily don't always end in the good way. At times it ends the way we don't want it to end. Are we good? So yeah, so first, like I'm saying, things that can boost your confidence, be open to developmental training. You need to be open to developmental training. Go for trainings. Like I said, when I went to the platform, go for trainings. You need to be open. Let me tell you, this thing is psychology. When you go for training, you get to see people. In fact, the funny thing is, you won't get to know who you're supposed to, who you are looking up to, if you don't do all of these things, especially if you're in the career sector. Don't forget, this is 30 times self-career. Right, this is 30 times self-career series. Thank you so much, Isaac. So you won't get to meet people that you're supposed to maybe look up to in a way, maybe like a role model or something. If I don't go for trainings, be it on Zoom, like I said, or Google Meet, or even physical, I won't get to know people like Visit and Vapayo. All I've just been seeing is pictures, or maybe is short clips on Instagram, but I might not really get to know who it is. I might not like go deep into it. So you need to be open to developmental trainings, yes. And another thing, going physically helps you to network. I met a particular client from networking, and it was like a church program actually. And then we got speaking, and I told her, oh, I'm a career coach. And then she wanted me to coach one of her daughters. And then I got myself a client because I went for a meeting, and then I got someone that wanted me to coach a daughter. So that helps you to network. Trust me, networking, it boosts your confidence in a way. When you network and you're networking, it in a way boost your confidence. I already spoke about attending seminars. Reading books help you. Let me tell you what reading books does. Reading books expounds your vocabulary. I'm not the best when it comes to speaking. I might be confident in speaking, but I'm not the best when it comes to speaking the right words to use, because I'm still learning. Like I said earlier, I'm not good with reading. I don't even like it, but at times when I know that there is a need, I have to. So reading books, it actually helps you boost your confidence, because it depends on the kind of books you're reading. Most of the time it's someone telling his or her story, or someone definitely telling you what you're supposed to do in certain scenarios and situations. So simply put, be open to developmental trainings. That's, you have to. It's very, very important. If you really want to boost your confidence, and if you're in the career sector, you need to be open to developmental training. So the second thing I'm going to be talking on is make an appearance. There is no gainsaying that